Hey everybody, this is Malia Arrayah. My apologies for the quality of this video. I'm shooting it off of my laptop because I keep trying to record off my phone, but then it keeps telling me I don't have any service. Wonderful! Yay! Okay, anyways, so today I'm going to be talking about my body shaming experience as a 6'5" woman. So I'm just gonna dive right into it. There's some things about this, what I'm gonna share with you guys, that I'm actually gonna branch it off into another video at a later date because it's too much. It's too much to share. The video is gonna be mad long, and I don't really want that. So let me take you back. The main point, let me share with you. The main points of this video is going to be my body shaming experience as a 6'5" woman, or as a very, very tall girl growing up in America on the West Coast, and how it affected me, what occurred because of it, how it happened, and then ultimately how I took steps to heal and to continue to heal from that. Okay. So growing up, basically I was born and I popped out the womb looking like a 2-year-old. Just kidding. No, but really, I was a very, very big kid. I actually didn't start thinning out until I got to like 8 or 9. So I was just like this huge, giant 10-year-old walking around as a 2-year-old, and people were like, dang, your daughter is going to be so tall. And originally I was projected to be 5'9" by the doctors, but you know, why listen to a doctor? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I remember being a kid and, you know, other kids being like, oh my gosh, she's so big. Why is she so tall? And I didn't really register that they were talking about my body because I didn't understand why I didn't understand. I was just like, I have a body just like you. I don't get it. Why are you making fun of, like, why are you running by and yelling stuff out at me and then laughing with your friends? Like, it doesn't make sense. I did start to realize that I was different, as in bigger than people in my grade, in my class, when I was very young. And I remember having crushes on kids, like, when I was a kid. Well, that's obviously, when I was a kid, I would have a crush on a boy in my class. I remember, you know, my friends having crushes too, and maybe they were the same person, and then that boy would like not even give me a second look. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, fine, I'll skip ahead. When I was like 10, I had this crush on this kid, and I really liked him. I have like these little items that I saw a few years ago where I was looking through all my boxes, and I had like these little bookmarks, and I had written him notes. And I was like, he was like my first crush. And I remember we sat next to each other in school, and he knew that I had a crush on him because I told him. And then I think he also liked me too, but then it got weird because he really liked this other girl, and then he told me I was too tall. And then that was the saga of Malia becoming too tall for everybody. Started when I was probably 8 or 9 and 10. And that's when I started internalizing that, oh, there's something wrong with me because I'm too tall. Even boys don't want to like me. They don't like me because I'm too tall. And then I started really internalizing that and believing that, okay, that's a bad thing. If I'm too tall, that means I'm ugly, and that means I'm a freak. And nobody likes freaks or ugly people. I don't know. That's kind of what I thought when I was a kid. So that leads me into junior high, and that's when I kind of discovered basketball, and I was really good. So luckily, you know, the cliche fit. I was really tall and I was good at basketball, but I had also a lot of interest in like music, and I really loved music and band and the arts and stuff, but that somehow fell under basketball. Anyways, I remember people making fun of my big feet, and I was very insecure about my feet for a long time. In high school especially, because, you know, in high school everything's super pressured and you're wanting to fit in But the problem is when you're different, you don't fit in, and you're never going to. And as much as I tried to keep to myself in high school, I could tell that the friends that I had, when they were all dating and they were talking about their boyfriends and stuff, and I would just think to myself, like, I've never been asked out on a date. I have crushes, but it's like I don't even know how or if I'm good enough for these people, because everybody that I had likes somebody that I can never be. So that was kind of built into me from my experiences. And I remember being in high school and asking this guy out to the prom, and he basically was like, no. Well, he had already asked somebody else out, so that was that. But then he had to go and say, oh, you should go to the prom with so and so, who was a foreign exchange student from another country, obviously. And he was really tall. He was like an inch shorter than me, and I was 6'5". I was like 6'4" and a half, 6'4" in high school. And he was like, you should go out with him because he's tall. And I was like, is that really it? Like, I should go out with somebody just because they're tall? Just because they're taller than me? Why? I did not ask him because I did not like him that way, and I didn't understand anything he was saying. So I went to the prom by myself, like a G. Anyways, so yeah, that was internalizing. I had low self-esteem in high school, even as the 8th best post player in the nation for my class. I had low self-esteem as an athlete. There were universities that had recruited me that are top programs even today, and I didn't even give them a second look because I told myself I wasn't good enough. And I mean, there's so many instances where I told myself I wasn't good enough to do something. I wouldn't be good enough. I would just fail because of low self-esteem and believing in myself as a valid person because of the comments that people have made over the years, even as a 16-year-old. So when I finally did make the decision to go to a university, I wanted to play in then Pac-10, now it's Pac-12, but I chose to go to that school, got a full ride, but then the coaching staff switched on me, and that's when all hell broke loose. I met with the coach. I didn't get good vibes, and I was telling myself then, as a 17-year-old, I was like, I don't get good vibes, but maybe I should just go for it, and just try and see how it goes. Always listen to your intuition, people. I had not listened to my intuition because I didn't know what intuition was as a teenager. I didn't even know how to listen to myself because I had people telling me what to do all the time. Anyways, that's besides the point. I ended up going to that university for my freshman year, only to get bullied and hazed and harassed by the coaching staff, the trainers, and some teammates. So after that year, I downward spiraled into depression. I had gained like 35 pounds. I had 2 stress fractures from that year. I got my clothes, my gear taken away from me and humiliated in front of everybody and body shamed in front of the entire team and staff. Told not to eat cream puffs anymore because I couldn't make the runs off of a 3-month injury where I was out. I was supposed to be in shape, apparently. You know how when you're an athlete and you're going into college, people are always going to be like, oh my gosh, you got to be ready because they're going to be tough on you. Okay, so that's what I was thinking this was. I thought it was normal. I thought coaches were just this tough. No, they're not. That was definitely overboard. I could have sued that program, and I didn't know any better, so I didn't. I was so fucking mentally and emotionally fucked up after that year. Not to mention I was just completely wrecked. Like, people tore me up from the inside out, like everything. My skin color was too white. I was too quiet. I was weak. I was too skinny. Then when I got injured and gained weight, I became too chubby. The trainer told me that I needed to lose the baby fat. I mean, who says that to a young athlete? Who says it to a young woman? Like, honestly, I really hope to see those people one day just so I can say thank you. Anyways, after that year, I spiraled. And even though I did continue my career as a basketball player in college, I went to San Diego State, and that's where we were winning, blah, blah, blah. I actually was playing through bulimia. I was bulimic for 6 years after my freshman year of college. I was bulimic, people. I may have been orthorexic as well, but I didn't know what that was then. But I think it was that. And then I became bulimic. Because I just became obsessed with counting calories and wanting to be perfect and wanting to fit in somehow, being the best at playing basketball. I wanted to win. I wanted to, I wanted to succeed so bad, because after that first year, after being degraded and feeling powerless and feeling secluded and excluded from team activities and stuff like that, I just told myself I need to win and I need to do this. Anyways, I ended up facing like 5 injuries, which were basically career ending because I made a choice to stop playing after I went pro. I changed my mind. I was like, I can't play anymore because I'm tired of taking ibuprofen every day because my body is so beat up and tired. I'm tired. I was tired. I was that tired as a 23-year-old. I was just exhausted from life. It was a bad place. And that, that didn't start getting better until a couple years ago, because I didn't want to accept what had happened. And for the longest time after college, I couldn't even talk about basketball. I couldn't even talk about that year, or not that year, those years. I couldn't even talk about the sport that I had loved because of what I'd gone through, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So I took myself to New York City because that's the best choice to make when you're trying to escape yourself. You should go move to the hardest city on the earth. Yeah, I had a great time over there and a horrible time. It's true what they say, you can't run from your problems because they will be with you. So yeah, basically didn't have a good time over there ultimately, even though it was one of the best times of my life. Because I couldn't hold a job because I was just fighting depression like weekly, and I still had an eating disorder then. And I was so guilty, and I felt so ashamed of myself. I hated myself. So the best choice I made was to come back here and to try to figure that out and heal myself, because I know that I would have overcome it just so I can be here and try to share my story and hope that it helps people. I did overcome bulimia. I've been recovered for over a year. Actually, a year and a half. Over a year and a half. I'm not orthorexic. I did get another herniated disc, and my bursitis and sciatica all flared up last year. Actually, for a whole year. Honestly, I couldn't work out like I wanted for a whole year, and that was really, really hard. I had to really face myself in that year. So the body shaming thing, I learned that words are so powerful, and how I speak to people is a reflection of me, and how people spoke to me is a reflection of them and their heart and their character. So when somebody's speaking to you and it's negative and doesn't feel good, then that's not for you. That's a reflection of them. If somebody's, being a constructive critic, like they're sharing some negatives only because they're trying to ultimately help you, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and really trust yourself. If that's something that resonates with you, then that's for you. If it doesn't and it doesn't feel good, then just let it go. Let it just fly on by, because that's not meant for you. And listen, you know, the path to healing, it's never ending. It'll be your whole life, but it does get better. For a few years, I suffered from PMDD to the point where I was losing I lost jobs because I was, we don't know what PMDD is. It's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. It's like PMS times 100. You get crazy emotional outbursts, like extreme mood swings from mostly being angry to depressed, literally depressed, like you can't even move. And then you'll get really, really, really sick. I changed my diet last year because I realized that played a huge role in how I was feeling emotionally. And PMDD disappeared. So that was interesting. But yeah, if you're going through this healing process, just please don't expect it to take one day. It's going to take many, many days, but you'll know through the journey, you know, when you start feeling better, because you'll just want to continue. And there's going to be times when you fail. There's going to be times when you fall back into your old ways. And that's okay. That's part of the healing journey too. You're not here to be in a rush with, or be in a race with some people around you. You're not here to live their lives. You're here to live your life to the best of your capabilities. And deep in your heart, you know that you have a great purpose here. There's a reason why you're here on earth right now. Hold on to that. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of mean people. There's a lot of mean people in real life, in social media. There's just people that they're not going to give you the answers you want. But what I found is that's okay, because all the answers that I'm looking for are within me. And sometimes it's okay when people go, or it's okay to be alone. It's okay to take that healing journey and really be alone, because sometimes you need that. You just need to be solo. I don't know. But yeah, that's like the short version of my body shaming experience, and what I learned is that it's never ending. It's a never ending healing process if you've experienced abuse like that, or worse. You know, I'm not sharing everything, but I'm sharing a synopsis of it. I know there's a lot of people out there in the world who are walking around internalizing things that people have said to them and spoken over their lives. And it takes a lot of work to deprogram your mind from, you know, those words, because listen, words are powerful. And if you don't believe me, then why are you thinking about that time when you were 7 and that teacher said whatever to you? Something like that. You know, you remember those things, and that's something that inspires me too. I know that because of this experience, I know that words are powerful, and that gives me so much hope, because I can affect someone else's life by saying, wow, you're so amazing and strong that you've been able to overcome that. And that inspires me to keep going on my journey, because there's still low days. There's days where I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to be around people today because I don't feel my best. And I know, being 6'5", everybody stares at me, and that gives me anxiety. So I deal with, you know, trying to subdue my anxiety, the anxiety that I feel sometimes. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I am going to be doing another video. It's basically going through my, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know if I want to talk about it. But going through the Division I basketball, college athletics, being a woman, being a female athlete, and my experience as a whole, and what I learned, whether it was like the fitness thing, being healthy, and how I got through 5 or 6 injuries, how I was able to do that and still, you know, get signed with an agent and stuff. You know, my career was about to take off. I was going to play in Europe. I was invited to play for USA in China that summer after college. I had been invited to the pro combine, but I had to make that choice. I guess I will talk about, you know, how to know when it's the right choice to stop playing too. Yeah, and I'll also go into different ways that you can take the healing journey, how to overcome eating disorders, how to overcome low self-esteem, and how to build your confidence over, you know, overcoming being body shamed and going through that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I don't, you know, push it because people will do what they want to do. My Instagram is Tall Woman Power Malia Arrayah. There you can find me posting stuff and sharing more experiences there. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video helps, and have a wonderful day.